Hey Meta, what's a good place to eat here?
Armature Works itself has tons of options inside. If you want something timeless, try Jane Eyre by Charlotte Brontë. The man wearing the hat in the center photo looks like Winston Churchill. Yeah, you can buy that Issey Miyake book, and it usually shows up on sites like Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You're looking at a wide river with a bridge and city buildings in the background. From the waterfront promenade and skyline, this looks like the Hillsborough River in Tampa.
Meta glasses feel like the epitome of a double-edged sword. On one hand, there's a camera always seeing what you're seeing, and you can ask it to translate what's in front of you, read off a menu, ask it questions about the world around you, and capture the moment you're currently seeing without holding a phone. But the other edge of that sword is you have a camera on your face all the time. And the company behind that camera doesn't have a great track record with privacy and security. But after using these for 2 weeks, I can see the appeal of having an AI right next to your ear, cameras that are seeing what you're seeing, speakers that can talk back, and why so many companies are chasing after the AI glasses category. And in a moment, I'll tell you why I really hope Apple is working on their own AI glasses. Here's all the good and bad of the Meta glasses. Now, Meta has partnered with Ray-Ban for a long time, but this is the first pair that's not Ray-Ban, it's not Oakley. This is Meta and Luxottica making their own pair. In the box, you get the glasses, which we'll talk about the hardware in a moment, the case that also acts as a charger, and I also got the standalone charging stand, which actually makes charging them much more convenient. The standalone costs $60, while the glasses are $300, and if you get it with a prescription like I did, it goes up to $400. Now, they come in multiple styles, but these are the Fury in the green color. On the front, you have a camera over the left eye and a light over the right eye that flashes when it's recording video and taking a photo. More on that in a second. On the right, this is actually a touch surface, so you can tap it to play and pause, and then swipe up and down to raise or lower the volume. And on the top of the right stem, there's a little button here. The raised button here on the back is actually customizable. You can make this do several things, but I have it for Meta AI. That's the default. And then you can press the front part to take a photo or press and hold it to start recording a video. And there's also two speakers, one on each stem, that actually sound pretty good, except in loud environments. We'll get to that too. And if you ever needed to charge and you weren't home, the glasses case that comes with the glasses also acts like a charging case. These little metal pins right here connect to the nose bridge, and you plug in the case with a USB-C, and this is like a little battery that will charge. And there is an on-off switch on the inside of the right stem, so you can flip this switch and then the glasses are completely off. Nothing will respond, there's no camera, wireless connectivity is off, everything. And they do sense when you put them on and off, it plays a little sound, and if you're playing music, it will pause it when you take the glasses off. Now, if I were to take a photo right now, you should see the light flash. That's taking a photo. If I wanted to start a video, I would hold that front button. It makes a sound, tells me that it's starting to record video, and then that light should pulse. And that means video is being taken. Photos are about 12 megapixels, and video, it's 1472 by 1952 resolution, just slightly more than 1080. But the one thing I was really disappointed about is every video and photo is vertical. There's no way to record landscape or horizontal video with these glasses, and I was really hoping to use them to record like B-roll when I'm doing a device review. But as you can see, trying to crop some of that vertical video, it just does not look great. And by the way, a word on comfort. They're fairly comfortable. They also have these nose pieces that you can click in or out if you want to adjust it. So you can see they kind of bend in a little bit, or you can bend them out. As you can see, they do make marks on my face more than my Warby Parker glasses, but I was able to wear them for hours on end and it didn't bother me too much. But what do they like to actually use? The first outing, I went to July 4th celebration in Lakeland, and despite there being probably thousands of people here, not one asked about my glasses or noticed them. I did take some photos as we were walking around the lake, and yes, I recorded the fireworks. This was the first time I felt like, man, these really have a use case. We could debate whether you should be recording fireworks videos and if you ever go back and watch them, but sometimes I like to do it, and knowing they were just being recorded, that what I was looking at was being filmed, I didn't have to think about where I was pointing my camera, that was pretty cool. Now, video seems to max out at about 5 minutes. Every time I try to record longer than that, the glasses stop themselves. Again, depending on what you're trying to record, you got a 5-minute max. But just walking around the lake, snapping photos here and there, taking videos, pretty fun. I also took them to a food hall, Armature Works here in Tampa, and the Oxford Exchange, which has a bookstore, a cafe, and a bunch of other places. And because it has Meta AI built in, you can ask it things like, what's in front of me, and recommend something. So I was standing in front of a book display, and I asked it to recommend some books. What book would you recommend here?
Take a photo to look, correct?
Yes.
I can see a nice mix of classics on the table. If you want something timeless, try Jane Eyre by Charlotte Brontë or Pride and Prejudice. For adventure, The Jungle Book or Around the World in 80 Days are great picks.
Sometimes when I ask Meta AI, which you can activate just by saying, "Hey Meta," or you can press the action button on the stem, It would ask to take a picture, and other times it would just take the picture automatically. So that seemed a little inconsistent. But when I asked it stuff, it did a good job explaining what was in front of me, describing it.
Who's the man wearing the hat in the center photo?
The man wearing the hat in the center photo looks like Winston Churchill. He's the British statesman known for leading the UK during World War II, and he's often pictured with a hat like that one.
I immediately could see the accessibility use cases where you can ask what's in front of me, read this menu. Like I went to the cafe, they served Buddy Brew coffee, a great cup of coffee, and asking it what's on the espresso menu, it was able to read everything off and tell me the prices.
They have espresso, a double shot for $4, cappuccino for $6, latte, and affogato for $7.
Also, funny coincidence, I found a book by Issey Miyake, a design book, so I asked the glasses to find these on Amazon and add a link to my reminders.
Can you get the link to this book on Amazon and add it as a reminder?
I'll grab the Amazon link and save it for you. I saved the Issey Miyake Taschen book as a reminder for you.
Now this is where the ecosystem comes into play. Everything related to the glasses, you have to use the Meta AI app. Here in the app, you can go to Glasses, and this is where you transfer photos and videos. And if you ask it to do any reminders, it puts them here. Now, when I asked it to find a link and put it in a reminder, it did take the picture and put the reminder here, but it actually didn't get the link to Amazon. But when I talk about why Apple should make something like this, the reminders is just one use case. And speaking of apps, my son has been doing more video editing for me, and I needed an easy way to add him to payroll and be a small business, and that's where today's sponsor comes in. Homebase. Homebase is the all-in-one app for hourly teams. From scheduling, timesheets, payroll, hiring HR, and more, Homebase can do it all. It's built specifically for small businesses that run on hourly workers, and while that's restaurants, cafes, retail shops, and more, it also works for me, a creator that has one employee now editing videos for me. It's the one app can do everything, from hiring to scheduling, running payroll, and more. You can do it all from Homebase. It has a beautiful web interface, and there's a great app. I was actually able to add my son directly to the Homebase app on my iPhone super fast. There's also no credit card required, and you can get your whole team set up in minutes. It will also save you a ton of time. Manage your save up to 20 plus hours a week, and Homebase has great features like automated scheduling. It will see your team's availability and place everyone on the schedule. And your team will love it too. They can see their schedule, swap shifts, clock in, and even message the team from the Homebase app. And something I wasn't trying to do myself, Homebase can help you stay up to date with things like PTO policies, taxes, and Homebase has great AI tools. It can help you find top matches for new hires, hassle-free onboarding for new employees, and it can even catch time card errors automatically. So get started for free with Homebase today. You can scan this QR code or click the link down in the video description, set up your employees in minutes. You can do it all from the Homebase app on your iPhone. And like I said, get started with all of that for free. And my thanks to Homebase for sponsoring this video. I also went to the food hall, Armature Works, and that's when I realized the limitation of the speakers on these glasses. They do get pretty loud, but sometimes not loud enough. A food hall could be very busy, very noisy, and you can't pair these with Bluetooth headphones. These are Bluetooth headphones, so when you play podcasts and music, it will play out of the speakers of the glasses. But you can't connect these to something like AirPods Pro or any other noise-canceling headphones. Well, while I was there, you can ask it pretty much anything you would ask an AI chatbot. I asked it for the weather at my current location, and it gave me a report. Looking out over the canal, I asked, what is the body of water I'm looking at? And it told me accurately. And if you saw something in another language, you could ask the glasses to translate it for you. And they also have live translation, though I did a test, and it does not do as well as AirPods Pro 3 or other AirPods with live translation. It was a little too slow, especially with a YouTube video that was talking quickly. But if you were just having a conversation and the other person can speak slowly, I think they would do okay. But then comes the other edge of the sword, which is when you have a camera on your face all the time, there are some awkward situations. I took them grocery shopping. Again, no one said anything, pointed out the glasses, didn't get into any fights. But I had to use the restroom, and it's a public restroom. And the moment I walked into the door, I realized I have a camera on my face, and this is awkward. Now, my vision is such where I can take them off and still function. It's a little blurry, but I can see, I can get around. Someone like my wife who has a much stronger prescription can't just take off their glasses and do everything like normal. And that was the first moment where I realized camera on the face can be very awkward. It also means if I were to keep these, I really have to consider where I'm going to be going when I wear them. Am I in a place where I'll feel comfortable wearing them the whole time? Is a camera on the face ever really awkward? I mean, it's always kind of awkward, but is it also inappropriate as well as awkward? And a couple of side notes, whenever you take photos and videos with the glasses, you do have to import them by going to the Meta AI app, tapping import, connecting to the glasses Wi-Fi network, so your phone has to get off whatever Wi-Fi it's on, connect to the glasses directly, and then things will transfer, albeit slowly. pretty cumbersome, not something I want to do all the time. That being said, battery life is pretty good. It lasted me 4 or 5 hours on a wear, and I never got really low battery. Now, before I get to all the privacy and security concerns with Meta, here's my thesis for why Apple needs to make something with a camera. The many use cases where I was able to ask my AI what was around me, what I was looking at, ask it questions about the world, not having to hold my phone to do all of that, and knowing a camera is looking where my eyes are looking, really cool. And with how good Siri AI is getting, which I did a whole video on that, and I'm going to be doing a review of iOS 27 come this fall, so scan this QR code if you want to see Siri AI in action. I would love to be able to ask Siri AI anything about what I'm looking at all the time. Now, there's been lots of rumors about a camera-equipped pair of AirPods maybe coming next year. I always thought this rumor was kind of silly, but now it totally makes sense. Maybe AirPods that have a camera not for capturing video and audio, but just seeing the world around you so you can ask Siri AI questions. That makes a lot more sense, and maybe Apple can skirt the privacy security concerns because they don't capture photos and videos. It's just for seeing the world around you in some privacy-keeping way. And glasses are a tough sell to people who don't wear glasses. Either you have perfect vision, or you've gone through something like LASIK or wear contacts because you don't find glasses comfortable and prefer not to wear them. Asking someone to wear glasses when they normally don't is a tough sell. But when it comes to AirPods, I think everyone wears them everywhere. And so it's not a tough sell, it's something they're already using. And then if you could talk to Siri AI, ask it questions about the world around you, remind you about things, and most importantly, have access to your Apple ecosystem. Having to use the Meta AI app to transfer photos and videos, cumbersome. Reminders in the Meta AI app not syncing to my Apple reminders, that's annoying too. Plus it doesn't have access to my personal context, my contacts, my favorite places and maps. All the things that if Apple made a device like this, it would be way more useful. Photos and videos would just appear on my iPhone. When I ask it to create a reminder, it'll go to my Apple Reminders app. I could send messages in email like I'm doing with my phone. And I even had a moment where I was driving away, I was wearing the glasses, and I thought, man, I'd really love to be able to tell them to just close my garage. My hands are busy with the steering wheel as I'm turning out. I could ask my Apple Watch, but then I have to lift it and make sure it hears me. To just be able to say, hey glasses, close the garage, and not touch anything, not raise my wrist, that would be really convenient too. It might also work with AirPods, but you're probably not wearing those in the car. And so for someone like me who wears glasses all the time anyway, a device like this could be really convenient. So I do hope in the next year or two that Apple builds some device that can see the world around me, I can interact with Siri AI, has all of my personal context, can control my smart home, and it's in that Apple ecosystem. Because when it comes to the Meta ecosystem, it is problematic. For example, it's awkward to have a camera on your face all the time even when it's not recording, but Meta is working on glasses that will record all the time. No, don't do that. But then sometimes Meta will make a positive privacy change. Like there's a whole cottage industry of people disabling the recording light in Meta glasses. That's creepy, you shouldn't do it. Joanna Stern has great coverage on that, and Meta is going to roll out an update where if you try to mess with that recording light, the camera is going to get bricked and you won't be able to use it at all with those glasses. That's a positive move. And then just last week, Meta rolled out an update and Instagram opted in everyone where people can use Meta's Muse image model, and your posts and reels will be used to train that model and can be used in AI-generated imagery. You have to go into the app and actually opt out yourself. That's really bad. Not to mention Meta's entire business model is knowing about you and selling ads based on that information. So having a device from them with a camera that sees everything you see and a future version that may just record everything you say all the time, that is not good. That's not the privacy and security world I want to live in. Now, there are lots of AR glasses companies trying to make models that don't have a camera. X-Real is coming out with their cheapest glasses ever. MimoMind from Jimmy, they're making glasses. I got to try those actually at CES. A little teleprompter screen in there, you can ask it questions, it's also speakers, and their whole selling point is AI glasses without a camera. Same with Even Realities, AR glasses, no camera. The problem is the camera is what enables so many of those cool experiences where you can interact with the world around you, ask an AI questions about it, and it knows what you're seeing. And maybe there's some middle ground where Apple can use some kind of LiDAR and other sensors and AirPods that aren't really a camera, but can still read text around you, see objects, and describe them. But I don't know how to square that circle. That's why it's a double-edged sword. There's massive benefits for whatever AI device you're using to see what you're seeing all the time, and the other side, which is it sees what you're seeing all the time. So as a review, should you get Meta glasses? Probably not. Again, that privacy and security is a big issue. The fiddliness of having to transfer photos and videos, that's cumbersome. They're pretty expensive, especially if you need a prescription at $400. And it doesn't have your personal context. So as an AI, it's not going to be anywhere near as useful as Siri AI, which is coming out this fall. But you also might have a niche use case, whether translation is a big deal, maybe you travel often and you're trying to read stuff in other languages, or you really want to be able to just capture photos and videos without holding a device for whatever reason. The Meta glasses are really good at that, but you also have to wrestle with the fact that you have a camera on your face all the time and may need to use a public restroom. Now, I bought these with my own money. Meta didn't send these to me, and I have a couple weeks left if I want to return them. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. There are some situations like that July 4th celebration where I might want to wear them just so I can capture photos and videos without thinking and be more in the moment than having to frame a photo and video. And you can do cool things like post directly to your Instagram story from the glasses without even taking out your phone. You could just say, hey, post this photo to my Instagram story, and it just does it. That's cool, but also you want to make sure it doesn't do that by accident when you're in that public restroom. But in a world where it's so easy to be distracted and you might just want to take your phone out to capture a moment, but then you get sucked in and do other things, I like the idea of a device allowing me to be more present and experience the moment with my own eyes, but also capture the moment to remember later. That's what something like these glasses allow me to do. And there might be situations where I want to do that. My kids are getting older. My oldest is about to graduate high school next year. There are many times where I just want to be in the moment, watching with my own eyes, not holding a phone and trying to capture the moment. And maybe I can do both with something like this. And one final thought. I had to get a new tire the other day, and as I was at the place, the guy checking me out, he had the Meta Ray-Bans. And someone who works in a car mechanic shop, I wonder, maybe that's a really useful place to have something like this. If he's working on a car, his hands are dirty, he doesn't want to have to get his phone or whatever, you could just ask the glasses, hey, take a photo of what I'm looking at, or hey, take a video. There might be some industries where being able to capture photos and videos hands-free, the whole process, would be useful. Maybe you're a student, you want to capture the screen during the lecture or record a portion of it, but not have to hold your phone up because you're also taking notes. These could be useful for that too. After using these for the last 2 weeks, I could see why so many companies like Google, Meta, and the rumors about Apple trying to make AR glasses, it totally makes sense. I see the use cases, I also see the privacy concerns, but if there's any company that can square that circle between usefulness and privacy and security with a camera on something you wear all the time, hopefully Apple can do it. And maybe we'll see it in the next couple of years. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.